Hello and welcome back. As we get closer and closer to the start of Premier League, lots of ideas and team selection pop up in our minds. Some ideas leading us to a great team selection and some confusing us furthermore. Most of these confusions can be solved just by looking at the fixture difficulty table. So in this video, I will go through the fixtures of each and every team and see who has the best fixtures between Game Week 1 to Game Week 5. I will also share with you my probability to select players from each team looking at their fixtures. At the end of the video, we will see 5 teams with best fixtures from Game Week 1 to Game Week 5. If you are new to this channel, then do subscribe to get more FPL content and to know my strategies and plan throughout the season. Join the league and compete with me and other friends on this channel. League code is displayed on the screen as well as provided in the description below. You can share the code with your friends and ask them to join as well. Before we start, one thing we should know is that Game Week 1 is a blank game week. There will be only 8 matches played in Game Week 1, which means 4 teams will not be playing in Game Week 1. I will go through the teams in alphabetical order, starting with Arsenal. As you can see, Arsenal have 2 tough fixtures out of 5. So I don't feel we can select Arsenal players thinking of long term. Yes, for first 2 game weeks, we can get in players like Aubameyang and then after 2 weeks can swap to Bruno from United or some Man City players like De Bruyne or Sterling. How likely I will select players from Arsenal? I will say 2 out of 5. Moving on to Aston Villa. Aston Villa is not playing in Game Week 1. Plus, they have 2 tough fixtures in first 5 game weeks, which means Aston Villa have 3 unfavorable fixtures out of 5, which makes me not to think on their players for first 5 fixtures. So my probability to go for Aston Villa players is 0 out of 5. Next is Brighton. Brighton have decent fixtures, with just 1 fixture with difficulty rating of 4. Looking at the fixtures, I feel we can think of getting in some of the rotational options from this team. My probability 2 out of 5. Now let's see Burnley. Game Week 1 is a blank game week for Burnley, followed by a tough fixture in Game Week 2. After that, they have some decent fixtures, but avoiding Burnley players for first 2 game weeks would be a wise choice as per me. I will say 1 out of 5 for myself to get their players. Next is Chelsea. Chelsea have a very good fixture run with just 1 tough fixture, that is against Liverpool. Looking at Chelsea's new signings as well, I will definitely go for Chelsea players. Let's say 4 out of 5. Now it's Crystal Palace. They have 2 tough fixtures and 3 decent fixtures. I'm not too fond of Crystal Palace in FPL. So let's directly go to my probability to choose their players. 1 out of 5. Looking next to Everton. Keeping Game Week 1 and Game Week 5 out of mind, they have pretty good fixtures. But I will go for Everton players like Richarlison, considering him as a rotational option. My probability 2 out of 5. Next is Fulham. On paper, Fulham have very good fixtures, but one can never predict how a newly promoted team will perform in Premier League. So my probability 0 out of 5 for at least some of the starting fixtures. Next is one more promoted team, that is Leeds. They have very tough fixtures right from the start. Will they pull out some shockers? Let's wait and see. But for me, like Fulham, 0 out of 5. Let's move on to Leicester City. Leicester have nice run of fixtures. Just 1 tough fixture against Manchester City, which could go in favor of either side. Looking at their fixtures, I am likely to pick maybe 2 players from this team. So let's say 3 out of 5. Now let's see the champions, Liverpool. Who on earth won't go for Liverpool players? They have got nice fixtures and I'm sure most of the managers will triple up on Liverpool players. So do I. So it's 5 out of 5. I'm surely getting in Liverpool players. Next is Manchester City. First of all, game week 1 is a blank game week for them. Looking beyond that, they have nice fixtures. But for me, I don't think I will get in Man City players for game week 1. But will definitely have them in my plans after game week 1. So 3 out of 5 only after the blank game week. Moving on, it's Manchester United. This is the 4th team who is not playing in game week 1. But they do have nice fixtures after game week 1. Just Tottenham in game week 4 can be tricky. For me, the plan here is same as Manchester City. So it's 3 out of 5 after game week 1. Now let's see Newcastle. They have 2 tough fixtures in first 5. Only starting 2 fixtures look appealing. For me, 1 out of 5. I will get in players from this team only if I want somebody to rotate with in first 2 game weeks. Next is Sheffield United. The great defensive display last season make managers think of the defenders from this team. They have good fixture list as well, with just one difficult match in first 5. Looking at it, I feel I will also think of their defensive players. So 3 out of 5. Now Southampton. Wow, they too have nice fixtures. Just one difficult fixture in it. So say 3 out of 5 for me. The player I might go for is Danny Ings. Next is Tottenham. Here is one more eye-catching fixture list. Just one red label fixture in 5. My probability to get Spurs players will be 4 out of 5. Next, West Brom. Looking at the fixtures, it looks decent. But for FPL return, I don't trust newly promoted teams, as long as I don't see their return for first couple of matches. So for me, 0 out of 5 for starting fixtures. Now let's move on to West Ham. Looking at the list, sorry, I can say nothing. It's almost all red. 0 out of 5. Last club on the list is Wolves. They played very attacking game last season, where some of their players providing good FPL returns. But looking at the first 2 fixtures this time out, makes it difficult to think players from this team. After game week 2, we can plan of players like Jimenez. For me, 2 out of 5. Are you still watching the video? Congratulations! We have finished with all 20 teams. Hope it helped you to think how to go about. To help you furthermore, here is the short list of 5 teams with best fixtures between game week 1 to game week 5. First one is Spurs, with 4 good fixtures and just 1 tough fixture. Second one will be Chelsea, with just 1 tough fixture. Third one will be Sheffield United. They have little tricky fixtures but looks good on paper. Fourth is Leicester City. Just game week 3 seems a tough fixture for them. Fifth will be Liverpool. I kept Liverpool in 5th just cause they have to play against top 6 contenders in game week 2 and game week 3. I feel a smartly selected FPL team with the players from these 5 teams can get you good points in starting game weeks. There are some other teams as well with good fixtures, like Southampton. And on the other side, Man City and Man United have appealing fixtures after game week 1. Please note, I have not included newly promoted team in this top 5 comparison. I have nothing against these clubs. It's just that I like to observe the players from these teams before I make a move. You can choose players from this club for your team if you have them in your plans. Don't forget to join the league and subscribe for more FPL content. That's all for now. See you in next one.